Enough. Cover your words. Write it quickly, write it small. Enough. Enough. Ready? Show it. E-N-O-U-G-H. It's that tough one with the O-U-G at the end. E-N-O-U-G-H.
I got mine
Okay,
right.
don't erase next word. Ready? Those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, show. Though. It's all the same. It sounds a little bit different. Not and though, but it has the O-U-G-H, right? Next word. Ready? Tricky. Although. We just did though. Now I want although.
Just add the H.
You heard though, right? Fix that though. 5. Don't erase. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It still has the though, and even though all is A-L-L on although, it's just A-L. Okay, but they need to be squished together, Janae. Okay, left word. Ready? Dough. Dough. As in, I make bread from dough.
Oh. Hold on, no, that's not my answer. Hold on.
5,
I don't know.
3, 2, 1, show me.
Yes, I got it too.
That's a C. That's a D. Okay, you're right. It's that O. You had D-O-E, which also is dough, but that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ready? By the way, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for our word work today, we're going to talk about homonyms, okay? Homonyms are words that sound the same, kind of like dough and dough. They're spelled differently, and they have different definitions, okay? So the first one we know pretty well.
New.
New.
It's actually new
You
knowledge.
knew something. Give me a homonym for us.
New.
I knew something.
I knew something.
That's that new.
I knew something and I got new shoes.
I got new shoes, right? New. How do I spell new?
N-E-W.
N-E-W,
And
right?
if you knew something, it would be K-N-E-W.
K-N-E-W. You're absolutely correct. So our homonym for new is
New.
new. Right? What about for this one? Dye.
Dyed your hair. You dyed your hair.
What-
You dyed.
Hold on a second. Died, as in my cat died last year. Okay, what's another one?
You dyed your hair.
Dye your hair. That one is spelled D-Y. Okay? So this is why it's important to use the right one, right? So you're not telling me something that isn't really tied to color. Okay? Another one, I just lost my homonym. Let's see. Next one is week.
It's like there's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday week.
I'm talking about this week as in like, oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sick, I'm so weak.
Yeah, there's that week, and then there's a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday,
Days of the week. What, how do I spell that one?
W-E-E-K.
Okay, we don't have to do that one. W-E-E-K. Okay, and our last one, my favorite one.
One.
What's that one?
There's one person, and there's
This is in the number one, right?
Yeah,
What's another one?
And there's one. Oh, for the one. This is hard.
Not one. Yeah, I totally won.
One. Oh, W-O-N. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times we say, I won you, which is not right, I beat you, but I won. This is I won a game, right, like a competition.
Oh, I forgot that.
Exactly. So you have to know which one you're using. When we're reading today, I want you to be on the lookout for these homonyms. Okay, what's a homonym again?
Homonym is something that sounds the same, but it has different spelled different.
And
it has different meanings.
There you go, sister. Okay, good job. Okay, as I'm picking this up, I want you to look over this book today. We're going to read medical pioneers. Okay, we've been talking about advocates and human rights. These people are advocates, and we're going to answer that question today. So just take a second, look over table of contents, look at headings, look at the index, read captions, but take a look at this. Your face is funny. That's a drawing, it's not real.
Oh. This is Saturn.
Autumn, you should be reading.
Does your heart really look like that? Yes.
Don't be caught up in the pictures. You're not seeing anything too grotesque. Check out the captions that you see here. Okay, keep going. Let's not get caught up in a picture you don't like. Okay, look over there at the caption. You get another caption too.
What are they wearing? Ew,
Well, let's talk about it. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go to the table of contents page.
Oh. Yeah.
You guys are cracking me up today.
Why did you
Okay.
choose this book?
Because there's a reason why, actually. Okay, so today, who can read the title of this for me? Go ahead, Liam.
Medical pioneer.
Pioneer. A pioneer is someone who is the first to do something, right? And we think about advocates, right, and how they were the first ones to do something. Martin Luther King wasn't the first one with the idea, but he was the first one to speak up about his ideas, right? Now we're taking it to another spectrum. These guys are medical pioneers. They're doing things medically that people have never done before, right? So let's look at the table of contents. We've got,
What is a pioneer?
what's a pioneer? Florence Nightingale, Jonas Salk, Sabaki, milestone in modern medicine. Jezebel, have a seat. Glossary and index. Okay, so we can pretty much predict what questions are going to be answered here. What is a pioneer? I'm pretty sure they're going to tell me what a pioneer is, right? If I look here at Florence Nightingale, who is Florence Nightingale? How is she a medical pioneer? These are questions that could be answered. And today what we're going to look at is just Florence Nightingale. Make sure you're with for reading out there. I think that's Trey up front. Please stop. Okay, so let's look at what is a pioneer. Now, you guys are going to read about what a pioneer is. Okay, so I won't show you that definition yet. You're going to see the word nurse in there. And then I want you to keep in mind advocate, which is something we've been talking about in whole group. And I want you to think about it in this reading setting. Okay? So I'm going to listen into you read. I only want you to read what is a pioneer. You can read this page. Then you see Florence Nightingale on page 4. Okay, turn to page 4. You're going to keep reading about Florence Nightingale, more about Florence Nightingale, more about Florence Nightingale, and you're going to stop on page 9. Page 9. Read through page 9 and stop. And then we'll discuss. Cool? Just read chapter 1 and chapter 2. Don't forget, when we read nonfiction, all of the words on the page. Read the captions. Look at the pictures. Think about questions in your brain. Most importantly, I want you to think about who was Florence Nightingale, and I lost my card. Who was Florence Nightingale, and why is she an advocate? Oh, thank you. Right here. Who was Florence Nightingale, and why is she an advocate? Advocate is someone who stands up for something. Okay? Who is she, and why is she an advocate? Go ahead and start reading inside your head.
Often they fail and try again. They keep going forward even when others think they should stop. The people you will meet in the book were pioneers in medicine. Florence Nightingale was the first to make nursing a branch of the medical profession. So this saw was the first to find a way to prevent the catching disease. Michael T. Dacey was the first to find a way to repair a leaked heart. Each of these medical pioneers saved thousands of lives. Horizontal pioneer Julian Stock, MD, pioneer in respiratory research.
So what did you just read about?
I read about pioneers and how they help when they're sick, how to not to be sick.
What is a pioneer?
A pioneer is someone who does something that no one has done before.
And where did you find that information?
I found that information in the book, The First Person.
So who are these people then?
These people
Use your own words.
These people are nurses because they
They're pioneers, right?
Yeah.
But pioneers of what?
They're pioneers in nursing, vaccine,
So where does that say vaccine shot?
vaccine, research, and pioneer in heart surgery.
How'd you know?
I knew because it says the captions right here.
Love it. Keep going, okay? Make sure that, I noticed you were reading kind of like a robot a little bit. Okay, so make sure you add that, just like you're talking to your voice goes up and down, it goes, just make it sound a little bit nicer instead of a pioneer is someone who does something fast. Okay, say it very quickly and make your voice move. A pioneer is someone who does something that no one has done before. See the difference? Come on.
In 1854, England was fighting the Crimean War with
Russia.
War report wrote about the terrible conditions in the hospital that cared for the wounded. People demanded that something be done about it. A leader of the government asked.
This is right here, you're talking about conditions at the hospital that cared for the wounded. Does that make sense to you? Someone's in a hospital and they've got an injury. What are they? Starts with what? Kind of sounds like wounded. You have to think about words that are going to fit in there, because if it's a word you've never heard of before, more than likely it's not that, okay? Wounded is not a word. The word is wounded. Okay, so you have to kind of use that background knowledge that you've got there in a hospital, in a war. What are those people? They're wounded, right? Okay. The other thing I want to mention to you is make sure you do the information.
People demanded that something be done about it. A leader of the government asked Florence Nightingale to take some nurses to the war hospital. So in November 1854, Nightingale finally got to work in a hospital. Florence Nightingale became a wounded soldier during a battle in the Crimean War. Question: what would you describe them like? She took around 38 nurse schools and she had training for sex. At first, the doctors on the battlefield did not want Nightingale to better than the hospital. Then they began to learn the women could help and infect pain in the head and too. They were called you know when they're hard working.
Break that word apart. Compound word.
Wounded. Nursing became an important opportunity in the hospital with John
Let's come back together, please. Okay. So, what's a pioneer?
Pioneer is someone who
Okay, do you agree, disagree?
I agree because in the book it says a pioneer is someone who does something that no one has done before.
Okay, and where'd you find that information?
I found that information in the first paragraph, page 2.
Okay, so someone who does something that no one has done before, right? Okay, now, who did we just read about?
We just read about Nightingale.
Florence Nightingale, right? So who is Florence Nightingale, and why is she an advocate? So who is she, first of all?
She's
really haven't heard from you. Someone help her out.
She's a nurse because...
Okay, what's a nurse?
A nurse is someone
Okay, works in a hospital, right? And Florence Nightingale was a nurse. And takes care of people, right? If you look there, the nurse was someone who takes care of sick people, right? So, Florence Nightingale, let's put that together. Florence Nightingale
was someone who was a nurse.
Was a nurse.
Who took care, someone who took care of people.
Okay.
She was an advocate because she was an advocate because she helped out with health and safety.
How so? How did she help out with health and safety?
She helped out with health and safety because when people were sick and they
Were sick?
and they went to the hospital, she helped them for health, and a lot of kids died from not a lot of care. That's not
Because they didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
health care? Okay, so you're saying she was an advocate because they didn't have a lot of help and she wanted to
Yes.
help.
Yeah.
Do you agree? What do you guys think?
I was an advocate because she helped people. She helped people and
How did she help people?
by because when they were sick, she helped them feel better.
Fox, put that away. She helped them feel better. Okay, so I want us to go back. We've got all these words. We've got pioneer, nurse, advocate. How is she a pioneer?
She's a pioneer because
Gentlemen on the floor.
She's a pioneer because she done something when nobody else would have done it. She took care of somebody, and then nobody else was taking care of people. So she was a pioneer because she was the first one to be a nurse. She's the first one.
Okay, so the first question was, who is Florence Nightingale? She was a pioneer in being a nurse, or nursing is what we call it. Okay, she was the first nurse.
She's
right?
the first advocate.
She's okay. What did she advocate?
She advocated for health and safety.
For health and safety, because she believes all people have the right
To
healthy life,
to be loved and
Okay.
kept safe.
and kept safe. So when you go back to your teeth, I don't want you to go past it. You can take this book with you, but only read up to page 9. Read it again. Read it again. Remember, we talked about that. Sometimes you're just figuring out the words the first time. Sure. But I want you to read it again, and I want you to be able to come back to me. And tomorrow we're going to write about who was Florence Nightingale and why was she an advocate. So kind of keep piecing those thoughts together. We'll discuss it again when we meet tomorrow, and then we'll write about it. Okay? Alright, so turn this you two and you two turn and say what you're gonna do and go back to.
What we're gonna do is that we're gonna go back to our seat and we're gonna finish the alternative topic.